welcome to All About Spain with me, Barry Haler. Today we're talking about a subject that you'll need to know about if you want to come and live in Spain, or if you want to work in Spain, or if you want to purchase a property in Spain. It's the NIE. Now the NIE is a foreigner's identification number that everyone must have. If you don't have one, you can't do very much. You can't buy a house, you can't buy a car, you can't get a mobile phone even, you can't get a driver's license. There's lots of things that you can't do without an NIE, so it's very important that you process that and you get one. Now, even if you're here part-time, you're still going to need one, because if you buy a holiday home, then you're going to need an NIE to be able to do that, to be able to go to a lawyer, to be able to go to a bank. So even if you're only part-time, you're still going to need that. And if you're full-time and you're trying to get employment, that is essential that you have an NIE. It's what everyone has here if you're a foreign person living in Spain. It's essential that you have this document. So let's get on to the next point that you're going to have to do if you want to live here in Spain, and that's obtain a Spanish driving license. Now, I had a British driving license, but when I went residential this year, they insist that you change your license to a Spanish one. It's a strange thing you have to do, but it's not a hard thing that you have to do. Basically, there are lots of paperwork, as always, but you can get a firm to do this for you, or you can go to a lawyer or an abogado here in Spain, and they will do it for you. I mean, basically, as I say, there's lots of paperwork. You have to pay. The fee that I paid was €100 for this. This is at this time of recording this video, but things can change, as I said before. But it was €100 for the paperwork for me. On top of this, you have to have a small test. Now, this test involves speaking to a doctor and also doing a test on some kind of like a computer game. That's what it seemed like to me anyway. And basically, you go into their office, you see the doctor asks you questions about your health. They also do a blood pressure test, and on top of this they do an eye test as well, which is what you do if you went to an optician's. So it's exactly the same as that. After this, you have to go into another office where they take a photograph of you, which goes on the form, and also in this office you have to do some tests. Now, one of the tests you do is on the screen you see this like a model car going towards a block, and you have to gauge when you think the model car is coming out the other side of the block, and you have to press buttons on this machine to tell you when you think it's coming through, and you do this a couple of times. But on top of that, you have to also drive these lines like you're driving a car, and if you hit the sides, the machine beeps. So it's a strange thing to do, and I'm sure a lot of youngsters would be easy doing this because they play a lot of these video games online. But I must admit, I beeped quite a few times when I was doing this. But it's not difficult, and I think that most people could do this. But the paperwork part of it is a bit different. You know, you have to go, as I say, and have all these bits of paper filled out. But one of the things you need to have, of course, if you're going to get a driving license, is an NIE. And we've talked about this already, and it's important that you have this document. It is very, very important. That's just one of the things you need on the paperwork side for your driving license. There are lots of others, but that is the important one, because that recognises you in Spain as that you've registered that you're living there and you have property there. So it's important that you do the NIE first. But of course, if you want to live in a lovely country like Spain, if you want to enjoy the 3,000 hours of sunshine that we get every year, then it's worth doing all these things. It's a beautiful country. There's some beautiful areas, whether you like mountains or you like riding your bike or you like hiking. There's lots of areas that you can do all this, so it's well worth the effort to do all these paperwork things. And you know, when you do come here, you're going to thoroughly enjoy living here like I have for the last 10 years. If you have any questions about Spain, if you're thinking of moving here, then please send me a message and I'll try and answer your questions for you. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoy this video, and if you do, please subscribe and please ring the bell. Thank you very much.